Oi, welcome back. It's me again, that annoying girl who thinks she knows everything and thus proceeds to tell you how to use your own software in the most monotone voice imaginable. Honestly, I don't know why you keep returning, but since you are here, let's get on with the video. In the last video, we learned how to create different types of Vray materials like wood, paint, ceramic, and metal. These next series of videos are going to deal with refractive materials like glass and water, as those can be a bit harder to nail. We are going to set up our scene a bit differently this time, so I'll be able to demonstrate better how these materials work. Create a cube and scale it up. Move it up so it's above the grid. I'm going to scale mine horizontally, so it's more rectangular, like an actual room. Right click and hold on the cube. Click on face from the pop-up menu, select one face and delete it. Next, create a sphere and drag it to one end of the cube. Don't forget to go to mesh display and reverse the faces of the cube, so the white parts face inside. Scale the sphere up and duplicate it 3 times so you get 4 spheres, just like the last time. Hide 3 of the spheres and rename the remaining one. I'm going to name it glass because, spoiler alert, that's the material we'll be tackling first. Before we forget, let's create a dome light and attach an HDRI to it so we get some nice diffuse reflections. On second thoughts, let me make the cube wider and deeper so it simulates an environment inside a room. Assign a Vray material to the sphere and name the material glass MTL. When creating glass, you always want to make the diffuse color black. Why? I really don't know, it just works. You can let me know in the comments if you know why. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, for some reason the material isn't showing in the viewport. This happens sometimes, so you want to head over here and click on this checkered sphere, which enables textures in the viewports. And voila, now we can see our black material in its full glory. Let's start up an IPR so we can see what the material looks like in real time. If your rig doesn't vibe with IPR, you can always switch to the Hypershade and use the material viewer to preview your material. If you aren't familiar with the Hypershade, you're in luck because I've got a video that covers it. So take a break, go check it out before we continue. I'll be here waiting. I'll definitely not continue talking like you never left. Okay, so we're getting a very dark image here. Can't really see anything, so we're going to have to increase the intensity of our dome lighting. But first, I'm going to enable GI and do some basic Vray settings that I talked about in my Vray settings video. If you haven't watched that, you can go ahead and watch it right now if you want to understand why I'm using these settings. But long story short, I just want an accurate render. Now let's increase our dome light intensity to say 5. Looks okay I guess, but let me make it 10 and see. I think I'll leave it at 10, seems more balanced. Okay, so now our glass sphere looks like a black hole, but that's just because it's not reflecting anything. Materials tend to look unrealistic when they have 0 reflections. I think I talked about it in a previous video. You can check it out at too much. Okay, fine, I'll stop shamelessly promoting myself just this once. Let's make our reflection color white and increase the glossiness to the max. Now we have a very glossy sphere. Head over to the refraction section and change the refraction color to white, and finally we can see our glass material. This is the simplest, most basic way to create a realistic glass material, which manages to be transparent while reflecting its surroundings. Of course, there are other parameters you can tweak like fore color and the Fresnel, Fresnelly, the Fresnel eyewear. But if you want a simple glass material, this is the way to do it.